to Papa, little guy. You want to touch it?
No.
Just touch it. It's dead.
Fine, Mom.
Just touch it. Isla, come touch it. Show Mommy you're brave.
No. I touch it.
Touch it.
Touch it.
Alright, so first thing you do is grab it and cut the head off. This sucker right here is still pretty deadly. The fangs inside, the venom that's inside here is still dangerous to you. So keep that in mind. Get rid of that, burn it, bury it. The process of skinning a snake is pretty simple. I catch, I harvest, and skin all my own snakes, and I use it for backing bows, obviously. I catch them alive. That's the best way to do it, so they have zero damage to them, and then I just put them in the freezer and they go to sleep. So anyway, first step, stretch it out. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut down the belly scales. Starting at the neck, you're going to cut down the center as best you can, as clean as you can, all the way down throughout the tail. Now you can use a knife, really anything that's sharp. I like to use these little suture scissors, surgical scissors, whatever they're called. And you just cut down the center line of the belly scales. Just getting underneath the skin layer. Pretty straightforward. Now you see that makes for a really nice clean line. Not that you're going to use these scales, but it just controls your cut. So when you take the skin off later and spread it out to dry it, it just makes it a lot easier to put it on your board. Something I want you to notice here on a venomous snake, the scales on the bottom are straight across. The scales are straight across on venomous snakes. Versus non-venomous snake, they're going to have a line down the middle. So they'll have two scales. Now you can cut all the way down there if you want. I usually do as far as I can go. You also don't have to cut the head off, but for anyone, I just wanted to show that. Catch the wife's reaction on camera. Pretty funny. But with these venomous snakes, you definitely don't want the head. You don't want it bumping around. You don't want the fangs out. So, you know, if you're gonna try this on your own and you happen to come across a venomous snake that's already dead, or you catch it, get rid of the head. I wanted to repeat something real quick. On these belly scales, I don't use them when I back a bow. I cut them off just because they just don't work right. But I don't tan these skins either. I just air dry them. So if you're gonna tan this snake skin, then you can leave those scales on, and that's where a really clean line down the center is gonna pay off. All right, so the next step you do is you obviously just peel the skin, and you start to work it off of the meat carefully, just to get it started. See, like that. And then it's pretty simple from there. You don't dig your fingernails into it. It's just a simple peeling process. Take your time so you don't rip it. These copperhead skins are fairly thin. what I like to do is have a board with either wax paper or parchment paper on it, so I can spread my skin out, because I like to protect the beautiful patterns. So what you want to do is you're going to lay it flesh side up, and you're going to spread it out as best you can on your board. Are fairly sticky. Good. Give it a little stretch. Give it a little stretch. Stretch it, stretch it. Copperheads are generally small, but my bows are small, my limbs are short and small, so they are perfect for what I do, and they are plentiful around here. It works out real nice. So I need to fit 2 on this board, so I'm going to staple this one down over here first. Alright, so we got that all stapled down now, nice and clean. Now, one thing that I like to do is go back and kind of get off any of the flesh. Now, it's going to look like there isn't any, but there is some that you might as well get off right now. And you don't want to use anything too sharp that's going to make you cut into your skin. That you can. You don't have to, if you're not using the belly side scales, you don't have to worry too much about that. When I'm done with this, when this dries in a few days, I'll take a razor knife and cut just inside the staples on both sides, and then I'll peel my skin up, and it'll be all dry and beautiful and ready to be put on a bow. So there's a lot of beautiful snake skins out there. You don't have to get venomous snakes to get beautiful patterns. You really don't. I've been handling snakes since I was a child, and I kind of enjoy it. Yeah, there's a lot of risk involved, but they do look nice on the bows. Like I said, they're plentiful around here. And I really don't like killing non-venomous snakes, especially the ones that do a good job on rodent control around here. If they're harmless, I kind of let them be. It's just my thinking anyway. All right. Let's get skin number 2. All right. Number 2. Off with your head. Repeat. One thing I wanted to add was where you put these when they're drying is kind of important because you want to keep rodents away from it, if you get my drift. So I have them suspended in my shop from this hook system that I have where I hang my bows, but get creative with it. It's definitely not something that you're going to want to ask your wife to have hanging in your kitchen or in your house, but if you can find a place and keep it out of the reach of rodents, then you'll be in good shape after a few days. One other thing I wanted to mention is if you do harvest venomous snakes, when you dispose of their heads, it's best to burn them completely up into a fine powder, get rid of it completely. If you bury it, chances of it getting dug up and being of exposure problem on your property is great, so it's best to get rid of it in a permanent way, if that makes sense. Hope this video helped you guys. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.